And once again, there's those funky jams. We know what time it is.
Yes, it is. It's time.
It's a Monday here above Bear Stadium, as I've so-called coined it, with Coach Sofet. We are in week 4, and I couldn't be more excited to join you on this Monday. To those of you watching, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's time to talk football.
It is. It's always time to talk football.
Coach, I've written you some questions as per usual.
Yep.
Let's see if I can get to these here. Okay, so good morning. Good to have you, as
Good
always.
morning.
So big game on Friday.
Yes, sir.
I heard a rumor you guys took it on the road all the way down south near the ocean.
Yes, we did.
The Gulf. You were down in Corpus Christi. And we want to know what happened down there.
Unfortunately, we ended up losing 61-50. Kids fought hard. There are different points of the game. We were down 28-8 at one point. Then we were down 35-14. There were just certain points of the game where we put ourselves too far behind. And in the second half, we literally were just trading touchdowns for touchdowns, kind of. It was something we didn't stop. But it's one of those things. We just keep working. You got to be happy with the offense. But we did a lot of stuff that we hurt ourselves, penalties and those different things, turnovers. So we kind of hurt ourselves, and those were some big things that kind of cost us.
So lots of penalties, too many.
Oh yeah, I kind of lost count watching the film. It was a lot.
Oh really? Just mental errors, or
just attention to details. I talked about the tough detail together part, and we just weren't attended to the details, and we got to get better at that stuff.
So what was the final score?
It was 61-50.
61-50. So 2-possession game.
Yep,
basically.
And we worked on our onside kicks during the week. We recovered a couple, and even at the end of the game, the kids were fighting hard. I was like, hey, we'd score. I'm like, onside kick. And the group came out. Guys were subbing guys out. They're like, Coach, I'm going to get it for you. Coach, I'm going to get it for you. We came one where we were down, I think, 9 points, and went to recover one right through one of the kids' hands. So we were close. We were close on a couple of them there at the end to really get it and score again. But, it's one of those things the kids kept fighting to the end. So.
Well, there you go. And I've seen that kind of fight and that dedication from this team. They don't quit.
No, they don't.
So despite this loss, obviously, I'm sorry, that's a tough thing to hear. You guys really went the distance on this thing. Despite the tough loss, 50 points is a lot of points to put up in a football game. Must be something going right with your offense. What is going on with this offense? That's incredible.
The adjustment part of it, we saw some things that they were doing defensively, and then at halftime, we kind of made some adjustments on our end, and we're like, hey, we're going to stick with this, and we're going to do this. Y'all be ready. And big games out of Nathan Clark, Augustine Robledo. Those guys really stepped up for us. We got Billy back this week, and that was big to get him back, and he scored 1 touchdown. He actually scored 2. The second one, he rolled over the guy and he marked him down at the 1, but I'll give him 2. I told him they took one from him. Even when I saw him this morning, he's like, Coach, they took one from me. I was like, I know they did, man. But big games out of a lot of guys just playing their roles and doing things. And, we were 3-1 at this point last year, and then we were 1-3 this year. So, we still got time to turn it around. We just got to get back to work.
Well, you're definitely scoring points.
Yeah, we got to stop them. So emphasis on defense this week.
And I'm sure you knew this one was coming. You mentioned a few of the offensive players. Was it balanced between passing and rushing? Or
there was a lot of passing.
A lot of passing. I love it. Going through the air, going deep, taking chances. I love that.
And there was some where we'd only throw the ball about 5 yards, and the kids did the rest. They would do the rest. Yeah,
on the ground.
They would throw the ball catch and out, and there was one Nathan Clark caught. Just said hut, turned, caught the ball, and then went along his way and zigzagged all the way to the end zone. So there are a lot of guys just making plays. So,
there you go. There you go. So I'm sure this one's coming. 61 points to give up defensively. What do you see needs to happen here? Obviously, it seems like it was kind of a shootout. What could the defense do better to get that point differential down a little bit?
I got to say tackling again. We're just not finishing the tackle. We're getting there.
Okay.
Some of it is working on angles and different things, but we just got to continue to work. It's one of those things that's tough though too with tackling, because you want to, we had a lot of injuries last year in our practices, but from the tackling, and some of our guys would get hurt, and so you're trying to keep guys up, and so we used using different drills and different things this week to kind of make sure that we're touching on the tackling part. Other things, really working on doing it the right way.
Speaking of which, how are you doing with injuries? I know that we've seen a few. How are you doing at this point? Benicio, is he back?
And he's back. You know what? We didn't really lose anybody because of injury last game, so that's an awesome thing.
That's huge.
It is, because the last few games we've lost at least one guy to something major, so it was nice for that to happen. Stay healthy. But we're getting some other guys back this week too, and they're on the defensive side of the ball. So I just expect we just got to keep working. It's one of those. Right. I know it's cliche and everyone's like, oh well, that's easy to say, but we just got to keep going work. We got a practice today. We're gonna do our study hall we do every week. And then we're going to watch some film and see how much time we have left, whether we go to the weight room, touch the field, what we're going to do today.
Okay. And that's after school?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So quick question for you. We've only had one home game, excluding the scrimmages, here at Somerset this season. I thought it was one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was 3 hours and 42 minutes of just absolute spectacularness, if that's even a word, but we just coined it. We made it up. It is now. So what, you've had 3 road games? How does that differ for you in terms of, do you feel like there's an advantage playing here at home other than the fact that you get to hear me call the game? That's a joke, but I mean, is it, driving to Corpus Christi, that's a haul. I mean, how do you feel like playing on the road is kind of potentially a disadvantage, or do you see it as any different at all?
I think the bus ride. I mean, I guess you could coin that in on it, but we had a lot of support from the parents and they helped take the equipment in the back of their cars, so the kids had more space on the bus there. So it's one of those things. We just continue to try to figure it out. We've had some. The past couple of weeks we've had a lot of. The other school has really been like, hey, what do y'all need? Here y'all go. Air-conditioned weight room. They gave us an air-conditioned gym that had a locker room in it this past week.
Nice.
So we've been taken care of, kind of let the guys move around a little bit in the gym and kind of stand up, and we're not like stuck in a little locker room, and, guys are able to move around. We've gotten there, kind of timed it pretty good the last couple of times, I thought, with the amount of time that we had. So we'll just keep working. I don't. It is rough to travel and then go play.
I would think, yeah.
But
when you're sitting on a bus for 2.5 hours or something,
yeah,
everybody kind of gets lethargic, perhaps.
I mean, we'll try something different, I guess, this week. We'll see what we got to come up with this week to see it. The advantage of being at home is school ends and you go down to the field house and you're in the locker room, you're moving around, and you don't have to travel, and guys kind of have some time to be off their feet but have space and those kind of things. And it's one of those things, playing at home's nice, playing on the road's an experience too, especially going somewhere else, being able to travel and play somewhere else. So we'll keep working on it. And
speaking of which, a little shameless plug here. I think our next home game is homecoming, correct? October 10th?
Yes, sir.
So 10-10, 3 weeks away. Everybody come on out, support. It's going to be huge. Who are y'all playing on homecoming?
Hill Country, Austin.
Hill Country, Austin. Look out.
Country. Like I said, we play Sabinal this week, and that's where our focus is. I know I say it, but we're 0-0 this week. Goals to go 1-0, and we just got to get to work.
Yeah, and that was my final question. Brief us on this week. This is this Friday night. Where are you going? What's it going to look like? How does the tape look? What's the game plan?
We're playing against Sabinal. We're going to make some adjustments on the defensive side. We got to figure this thing out, and it starts with me. I got to help figure this problem out. Like I said, I watched the film from our game on Friday. Going through it the second time with a bunch of notes. So hoping to be able to fix some of those things and us be able to respond on Friday. And, I think the kids will respond. They're resilient. They like watching the film, and they just got to be critical of themselves though. When they make a mistake, you got to own it instead of trying to push it onto somebody else and just being like, hey, you know what? I screwed that up. Next time, coach, I got you. And it's about us teaching them too. We had some other guys have to step in due to injuries, and some guys made plays. They just were like a step late. But we'll continue to work,
Well, excellent. I think, and where is Sabinal? Where is that located?
It's like about an hour and 15 minutes to our west.
Okay.
Yeah, the west.
Due west. And how do they look? Have you seen the film yet?
We've exchanged the film, but I've really concentrated on us. Usually I get through it Monday into Monday night, and then Tuesdays when we kind of divvy the whole game plan. Monday's really a reflection day, especially in the classroom with the study hall and different things. We had some trouble with the tape too, uploading and different things. So it's kind of delayed kind of the film process for the week, but maybe it's an extra day of just taking a deep breath and, like I said, just watching ourselves. We fix our mistakes and then we'll attack what they have for us.
Well, there you go. I think you said it all. Wishing you always the best.
Thank you.
Bear Nation is definitely there with you. Let's get a win this week. It'll be what, 2-3 on the season?
Yeah, 1-0 this week, though.
Well, this is dedicated to you and the team. Yeah, 1-0 this season. Yep. Exactly. Well, here's our little jam to wrap this one up. Thank you so much, Coach. Week 4, all the best to you. Can't wait for homecoming. We support you.
All right, man. Thank you. Go Bears. Come out and support.